As the world falls away and I can't find a reason, as the world turns to gray, it's killing me unwillingly, and I am just the same as you.
Hey guys, Lonely Fanboy 3 here, and here's my revisit of Rollercoaster Friendship World, which is I like to call Why Rollercoaster Friendship is a Bad Idea. Because in my opinion, even after 3 months after my review and the special finally being released on YouTube, I still can't get over how poor the special was, even if it's for shippers. But that's my biggest problem with this special, is that the shipper thing is just doing it for the wrong reasons for a 44-minute special, but I'll get to that later. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the story. Here's something that I didn't address in my other reviews, that the story is completely paced in. Some of the scenes, mainly the shipping moments, drag on for way too long. Forgotten Friendship at least know how to make the pacing really good and really work for a 44-minute special, but in my opinion, I think that this special should have been a 22-minute special, not a 44-minute special, because in my opinion, the shipping thing they did is just overkill. I mean, Sunset Twilight going to get a prize drags on for way too long, and it's very predictable, and in my opinion, not very hilarious. And as for Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash, they only get one scene, and they were on a roller coaster, and the only thing we know is that Rainbow Dash is afraid of heights, and while Fluttershy, not as much. I just can't get into the shipping idea because to me it's so forced, and I think it kind of works for shorts, to be honest. And to be quite honest, this feels like all shorts have been crumbled into 44 minutes. I'm serious. I mean, scenes with Pinkie Pie getting a job for some reason and eating garbage. I can't believe I forgot to mention that in the overview, but thank goodness I didn't. It's just nothing but filler, and it's done for the wrong reasons. And as for the relationship between Applejack and Well, I'm really sorry, but I think they're only doing this for Equestria girls, and in Friendship is Magic, they don't do a lot, to be honest, since the main focus is about friendship and not about shipping. So I think the reason why they're shipping Rarity and Applejack in this is because, well, people really love the ship for some reason. I mean, I can understand people loving ship for some random reasons, but this ship is just, I just can't take it seriously with Applejack and Rarity being the main focus. Now you're probably thinking, Rarity and Rainbow Dash had those special in the 22-minute specials. Well, I can agree on that, but the thing is, there were 22 minutes. I can easily accept that. I mean, back then I didn't like the idea, but if it was actually 44 minutes, it would probably drag on for way too long and done really poorly. And as for this, I mean, I just don't like the idea of them getting to a situation, well, even though that they're trying to do a parade, but the main villain is just full about herself and thinking that her ideas is better than anyone's. It's just not the best idea to do with. It's not the best idea, especially that the villain is probably way worse than the other villains that we got from Equestria Girls. Vigilia, or whatever her name is only thinking about herself and doesn't think ahead, especially the magic that she got. I just can't take her seriously. And the fact that this is the 6th time they have the ending be about forgiveness. We've always get that forgiveness is the answer to everything. Just because it's an important friendship thing, that doesn't mean you can hammer it in all the time. And to make matters even worse is that she does the exact same things that Wildflower did in the last special. Well, except the fact that Wildflower Blush isn't really jealous whatsoever. But I can at least understand what Wildflower motives is like in Forgotten Friendship, since she has an actual reason. However, Vigilia just wanted to make the play all about herself and completely ignoring the fact that magic corrupted her phone. Do you see what's wrong with this? I mean, Vigilia is just basically a villain for Rarity and Applejack. That's basically all I'm saying. And as for her encounters with the other characters, it's just... I just... It's really stupid. That's all I have to say. I don't care if this is a kid's show. It's by far one of the weakest things that Hasbro has ever done with the villains in Equestria Girls. And I also despise how lazily it ends. I mean, Rarity completely using her powers to destroy a phone. That's literally all she ever did. That's all she ever did. Do you see how lackluster this is? I can't even understand why people can enjoy this special. I'm talking about people who aren't shippers of the show. I'm really sick and tired of them scraping the bottom of the barrel and using shipping ideas instead of putting more focus on moving on with the story. If this is what 22-minute or 44-minute specials are going to be like, having the characters get the spotlight without continuing anything and doing cliche stories they keep doing over and over again, then this show is probably going to get even more tedious later on. Back then, I did say that Forgotten Friendship was improving Equestria Girls, but that didn't last long when Rollercoaster Friendship premiered. The jokes here are just terrible. I don't care if this is intended for kids, but watching this, even for adults, is just, oh my god. Sunset completely failing the toss challenge all the time because Flim and Flam are terrible people. Seriously, why do Twilight and Sunset call them out for being terrible business people? I swear, this is the same people who completely refuse to give the money back to Applejack. And, well, actually give her guitar back to Applejack. It just doesn't work like that. And the ending where she actually succeeds because she gives up was when she gives up. Oh my god. I'm sorry. But this kind of filler in this 44-minute special is pathetic in my opinion, and it's really getting tedious, especially how they completely execute Sunset Shimmer in the most ridiculous way possible. Look, I know that Sunset Shimmer has other traits that she can't be hilarious to. However, watching her completely react to a rain toss and not even calling out the people who I think that she knows completely refuse to give Applejack her guitar, calls them out on how a ripoff of a game they're doing. Oh my god. I really feel embarrassed to see Sunset Shimmer like this. It's just hard to watch, especially all the great moments she did, especially in Forgotten Friendship. And the shipping moments between her and Twilight is just forced and just trying way too hard. And don't even get me started on how they teleport all the characters in a white room. Now I get, the phone isn't a thing that gets sucked into itself, like the meal from Meal Magic. But at the same time, are you trying to tell me that any of these girls who got trapped didn't notice the door by them? Especially that it's really big and it's very difficult to not see. I don't understand the comedy in this. It's just too difficult. Also, is this similar to the one where the main seven get trapped under the Cantalata Stadium from Rainbow Rocks? Well, they didn't even bother to open the door. I think that's what it's like here, except that it's done even worse. When I first saw this, I was cringing and completely enraged when I first saw this. Especially that it was the final part of this special. They used a lackluster idea by having a teleport having all the girls go into White Room and didn't even notice the door? Are you serious? You see why I don't like Equestria Girls that much? They do these cliche ideas and only tone them down in order to make them work for little kids. I know Hasbro is targeting Equestria Girls to little kids, but at the same time, they know they have a fan base, a huge fan base that gave them a lot of money. Well, adults can easily enjoy and analyze Equestria Girls the same way as Friendship is Magic. they should at least know everything of what they're trying to do. And how depressing that this special was, it's really hard for me to enjoy it and waste my 44 minutes. Like I said, the pacing is just too claustrophobic and completely done for the wrong reasons. Just because I can understand what they're trying to target doesn't mean it's an excuse to have all these ideas. They should at least put more focus on the special, on the plots of what they're trying to do. Oh my god. This is why I can't stand people and completely enjoy Equestria Girls that much. Like listening to the music and listening to the ideas, because it always cringes me of how they use these ideas for conveniences for the wrong reasons. And I think there's a reason why this special wasn't advertised. Unlike in Forgotten Friendship, when it was advertised a month earlier and then it finally premiered in February, this special only got advertised of its release date. And we only saw bits and pieces of the summer commercials. But besides that, there's nothing we get from this special's advertisement before its premiere. I mean, where am I supposed to find enjoyment out of this special? I only give it a fair rating because it's just not terrible, but it doesn't feel like you need your time to be wasted. The relationship between Applejack and Well, remember the good things I said? Well, that was just me being nice and completely understand what the ship was wrong. But here, even if I watch the special once, I still don't think I need to watch it again to understand the relationship between Welty and Applejack, because in my opinion, it's probably the biggest reasons onto why Rollercoaster of Friendship exists and wasn't advertised. I get that they're trying to make Equestria Girls its own thing, but for me, with all the lackluster ideas and what they're doing with the plot, specifically the villain, I think that this entire concept of having an Applejack and Well special didn't need to exist. Besides, we've seen moments like these in the shorts, and they probably did those a little better because they were done for 3 minutes. But doing it for 44 minutes, it's just hard to take it seriously, especially that the other characters are just running around the theme park. I know that it's called Rollercoaster of Friendship, but that's still a generic title name, to be honest. If the specials are just going to have generic names, then I can't take this seriously. I'm sorry, I just can't. I just really think that they're doing these ideas and being way too hard to be original. I just can't enjoy the concept of Rollercoaster of Friendship because for what it is. I know I'm supposed to rewatch this over and over again to get some enjoyment out of, but the thing is, I don't want to cringe myself by seeing characters failing at a toss challenge, having a character eating garbage, which is still disgusting, seriously. I thought that Applejack, Pinkie Pie using her hair to wipe the floor was bad in the first movie, but this is taking the next level. And the villain being this executed, it's at this point that this magic thing and forgiveness thing has been going on for far too long. What makes Friendship is Magic really good is that they have so many variety of villains with different ideas that they can do, and it really proves it in the 8th season finale. Seriously, they did so many great ideas. I know that Equestria Girls is in the human world, but they can do more than that. Have the characters be different and completely have different ideas. Don't do a lot of cliches all the time. Just look at all the villains that they did in Friendship is Magic. Cloudy Glow, which is Cozy Glow, which is basically the new villain that we got, and all those villains up from the very first episodes of season 1. Those really proves to me that they can do a lot, and the fact that some of the Wilds are doing Equestria Girls, they should at least do the same. Equestria Girls has none of those qualities of villains.